Hi, I'm Candace Bryan Grow, the Senior Family Readiness Support Assistant Contractor for the Vermont Army National Guard.
And I'm Marcy Caulfield, your Military OneSource State Consultant. And today we'll be talking about putting things in perspective and mental games. Now this training is all about how to put things into perspective to help you with your reintegration process. Reintegration can be a challenging time for many households, and we hope that the following skills and strategies outlined within this presentation will help you with more effective conversations and more healthy decision-making outcomes.
As Marcy mentioned, we're going to discuss putting it in perspective today, or PIP, which is going to help you to build optimism. The goal of PIP is to lower anxiety so that you can accurately assess the situation and deal with it.
Keep in mind that putting it into perspective is a skill for people who are stuck in worst case or catastrophic thinking. For those who don't know, catastrophizing is when you're stuck in your head and are generating catastrophic thoughts, which is not helpful because it prevents purposeful action and creates panic. In fact, by identifying the potential worst case and having a plan to deal with it, it's what good soldiers do. Putting it in perspective is especially important when one is depleted because that is when the tendency to catastrophize is greatest.
So before we go any further, I would like to explain a couple of definitions to you. The first definition is something called an activating event. You'll hear this a few times within this presentation. And the activating event is the who, what, when, and where of a situation. The situation could be a challenge or adversity or even a positive event. And it's something that triggers thoughts, emotions, and reactions. The second word I wanted to talk about, which you've already heard a few times, is catastrophizing. And this is when a person is lost in his or her head and the thoughts are not reality-based. So let's talk about the three styles of catastrophizing. If you look at the slide here, you'll see that there's three images. The first one being a downward spiral. This is when an activating event occurs and your brain starts to tell a story that gets increasingly negative and improbable, causing you to get increasingly anxious as the story goes on. It's almost like your brain is a runaway train. Then there's scattershot. This is when an activating event occurs and you start thinking about many disconnected catastrophic events. Circling happens when an activating event occurs and your thoughts about one bad outcome keep repeating. The thoughts don't necessarily get more negative, but they continue to occur repetitively. One thing that you should really remember is that putting it in perspective is especially helpful for the downward spiral and scattershot styles. Mental games, which you'll learn a little bit later, is particularly useful for circling. Okay, so now let's do some role playing. Layoffs are happening at Marcy's place of employment, and Marcy gets called into her supervisor's office. Let's hear about what she was thinking.
Oh my gosh, my supervisor wants me to go in, I'm going to get fired. And if I go and I meet with them, then I'm going to be really late picking up my kid. Oh, and I even have a doctor's appointment. Oh, my stomach really hurts, and it's definitely think I'm going to get really sick. Oh, my car payment's due. That means I won't be able to afford it. A trip. Oh yeah, that trip that's coming up. I'm really anxious.
Oh, Marcy, calm down. It's okay. What example of catastrophizing did Marcy just show us? Awesome. All right, let's try something different. Remember, layoffs are happening at Marcy's place of gets called into your supervisor's office. What is she thinking now?
Oh, my supervisor wants to talk to me. I'm going to get fired. But wait a minute. Maybe it's something else. Maybe I just need to resubmit my reports. No, definitely going to get fired. No, they're changing my benefits. I can't afford to pay more for my health insurance. Maybe they're changing my hours. I can't change my schedule. I'm going to get fired.
It's okay, Marcy. You're not going to get fired. What example of catastrophizing did Marcy just show this time? Good guess. All right, one more time. Go for it, Marcy.
Oh, my supervisor wants to talk to me. I'm going to get fired. That means no money. I'm going to starve. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to have no insurance. I'm going to be sick. Maybe some depression, anxiety. It's really working myself up here. Oh, I'm going to die over this.
Marcy, it's okay. You're not going to die. All right, everybody. What example of catastrophizing did Marcy just show? At this time, consider pausing the recording for just a second and think about what are some other things that Marcy might be thinking. What triggers catastrophic thinking? As you can see here, this list here, it's the most common triggers of catastrophic thinking. So let's talk about them. Let's think about a situation that might be ambiguous. Ambiguous means unclear or inexact because a choice between alternatives has not been made. I think a good example of this is whenever I take my boyfriend to a restaurant and he has to order from a menu. And you're probably thinking to me, Candace, ordering from a menu isn't that big a deal. That is not something that's going to have catastrophic thinking. Well, I would like to remind you that your activating event doesn't have to be a major life-changing event. It can be something as minor as ordering from a menu. So in this example, my boyfriend goes to the restaurant, there's a big menu there, and there's way too many choices, and he's completely overwhelmed by those choices. And he starts to form some downward spiral thinking. Marcy, do you have an example of where a situation might be ambiguous?
Yeah, Candace, I was thinking about, especially in the time frame that we're at now, service members who may have to choose whether to do state active duty versus staying at home.
That is actually a really good example of that. Okay, so let's move on to the next portion. Something that you value highly is at stake. Well, I think a good example of this is child custody. If you're going through a divorce and you got to figure out who's going to take the kids and on what days, that's something that I think most people value highly. And that could definitely cause some catastrophic thinking. Marcy, do you have any examples?
Yeah, I really liked your examples about the kids, and I'm thinking about like in the workplace, maybe your reputation at work or integrity, if there's a situation that your reputation's on the line and the concern that there would be there.
That's a really great example. How about being run down or depleted? Of course, a lack of sleep is definitely something that's going to make you run down or depleted. What else could make you run down or depleted?
How about all those families that are now homeschooling or remote working because of the COVID-19?
Oh, yeah. I am definitely feeling depleted from that. How about, it's already something that you fear or a situation that you fear. Maybe you fear being laid off from your job. That's pretty something that a lot of people are going through right now. What else do you think, Mars?
I really think about like the essential shopping and the COVID-19, like these are the things that you need to do, but then there's that fear of the unknown because of the situation that's in front of us.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. What about maybe it's your first time doing something? A really great example that I love to give for this one is a birth. Because as we said earlier, your activating event does not need to be a negative event. And a birth is a positive, life-changing event that could lead to catastrophic thinking. What else do you think?
What about purchasing a house? Because that's really exciting.
Yeah, that would definitely be one. And for sure, that could definitely cause some catastrophic thinking. These were great examples. Thanks, Marcy.
The goal of putting it into perspective is to lower anxiety so that you can accurately assess the situation and deal with it. The goal is not to pretend all is well or to deny real problems or to even take away anxiety completely.
Let's talk about the steps of putting it in perspective. As you can see on this slide here, the steps are laid out, and you can even see a practice example. Let's go through the example together. Step 1, describe the activating event. Remember, that's the who, what, when, and where. My soldiers are out doing a land navigation course. It's 20 minutes past the midnight deadline, and one of the soldiers hasn't shown up or checked in. Step 2, capture the worst case thoughts. As you can see here in the example, some of these worst case thoughts are pretty colorful. But some of the thoughts are, oh no, he's probably dead. I'm going to have to wake up the commander. I'll be on CNN. I'll humiliate the army and my family, and I'll rot in jail for the rest of my life. This is a really great example of downward spiral catastrophizing. Step 3 is generate the best case thoughts. Well, maybe he found all of his points. Maybe he's taking a nap to catch up on some sleep, and he's only 100 meters from here. You know, when he wakes up, he's going to be really scared and embarrassed to see his whole platoon staring at him. And you know what? I am definitely going to write him about this for a good long time. In step 4, we're going to identify the most likely outcomes. This is sort of like a combination of your worst case thoughts and your best case thoughts. So the guy probably got lost, and the other NCOs are definitely going to ride me about this. But I bet you he's making his way back, and he's probably walking the road waiting for a vehicle to give him a lift. And you know what? I'm probably going to be worried and anxious about this for a little while. So now let's move on to step 5, which is develop a plan for dealing with the most likely outcomes. In this example, I'll find out who saw him last and send a couple of guys out with a vehicle toward the end of the road to look for him. Another group can start out on foot. I'll follow the standard operating procedures for missing soldiers, talk to a battle buddy, and do some deliberate breathing to keep my anxiety lowered. As you can see on this slide, we've decided to come up with another practical exercise for you. And this particular one is based on reintegration. So let's go ahead and describe our activating event. I just returned home from my deployment, and my family always wants me to be more engaged in their activities outside the home. All I want to do is stay home, play video games, and relax. I can definitely relate to that. Marcy, what do you think are some worst case thoughts?
I'm thinking it would be that my family will think that I'm mad at them because I don't want to spend time with them. Or if I don't do what my family wants, then I'm going to lose them. My spouse may divorce me over this, and my personal life will start to affect my professional life. And you know what? I may even get a negative counseling statement from higher ranking officials because I wasn't spending time with my family. Candace, let's generate some best case scenarios.
Yeah, some best case scenarios I could think of, or maybe my family will give me the space that I want, and you know what, my family will stay at home and play video games with me. The unit will award me for excellent reintegration skills with my peers. And this is my favorite. My spouse will enter a sweepstakes at GameStop where they purchased me a new game. And we will win the sweepstakes. I will never have to work again. Not ever. So something to really think about here is the reason that we go from our worst case thoughts to our best case thoughts is that we're trying to jolt ourselves out of this really negative, catastrophic thinking. Hey, Marcy, do you think you could help me identify the most likely outcomes here?
Absolutely. You know, my family will be really annoyed with me. Even though I'd be willing to share my video game time with them, my spouse might even have a conversation with a commander's spouse at the Yellow Ribbon event about the situation. And in fact, I think my spouse would go ahead and buy me a new game, but you know, realistically, it's probably only going to be if it's on sale. And I eventually have to go outside at some point. And you know what, Candace? I may even get a call from my commander because of that Yellow Ribbon conversation.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. So tell you what, let's try to develop a plan together. I think that I'll talk with my family about needing time to acclimate to being back home.
You know, that's a good idea, Candace, because I'm also thinking that I would offer to purchase a new video game for the whole family so we can play together. And maybe I'll even purchase a couple more controllers so we each have one.
Oh, yeah, I really like that idea. You know, maybe we could negotiate times to go outside or maybe we could do some activities that I'm willing to participate in.
You mean like a bike ride or a hike?
Yeah, I love going on bike rides and going on hikes.
Me too. For some other put it in perspective examples, Candace and I came up with some reintegration specific ones for you to consider. Going from a fast-paced environment to more relaxed-paced environment, injury, argument with the in-laws, readjustment of family roles, my kids don't want to spend time with me, financial uncertainty, housing problems, and status changes. So go ahead and use the tools that we've talked about and choose your own example specific to reintegration and how you would work through the put it in perspective process.
Now we're going to go ahead and talk about mental games. Mental games helps to distract you from counterproductive thinking, and this skill also enables greater concentration and helps you focus on the task at hand. Mental games helps to build the competency of self-regulation. So let's talk a little bit more about mental games, and let's play a couple of games. What do you think, Marcy?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, cool. So the thing that you should know about mental games is that these can be used as additional energy management strategies for you. It's really important to choose a game or a technique that's right for you. Marcy and I are going to show you some examples, if you will, and you're definitely going to be able to tell where we are struggling. So, for example, if math games make you frustrated, it's not going to help you change the channel away from your counterproductive thinking. And it's likely going to further decrease your focus. So make sure you're choosing a game that really works for you. Let's start out with some math games, Marcy.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to count back from 1,000 by sevens. We won't go the whole way, I promise. Okay, so 1,000 and then 993.
986.
979.
972.
Okay, then that would mean the next one is 965. Did I get it right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Then 958.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, so way through the alphabet, naming someone for each pair of initials. This could be someone famous, someone you know personally, presidents, or maybe someone from a story or a television show. So let's go ahead and we'll start. For AB, I'm going to put Anne Boleyn. So then, Marcy, you would do CD.
CD. All right. Charles Darwin.
Awesome. So then I would get EF. Ooh, Ella Fitzgerald.
All right. So that's GH. And that's going to be Gary Hall. He's an author.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. IJ. How about Indiana Jones?
Ah.
You're going to give me a pass? Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
IJ. K. Oh.
KL, right?
Yes, KL. Karen Longwell.
Okay, good job. All right, I think we're going to stop there. We're now about halfway through the alphabet, so I think that's a pretty good sample. Now we're going to play the categories game. I'm sure many of you have played this before. So what's our category that we're going to do today, Marcy?
Commercial jingles.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I start, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's a statement of the great minute double mint gum.
That was fantastic. All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
Zestfully, zestfully, zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
That's awesome. All right, here's one for all you pet owners. Meow, 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 meow. I can't go any further. It's such an obnoxious jingle.
That's fantastic. Okay, I got one for you. My buddy, wherever I go, you go, my buddy and me. Kid sister, wherever I go, she's gonna go. Kid sister, and me.
Yay, we did it. Okay, so those are all the mental games that we're going to show you for right now. But as you can see, Marcy and I are an absolute giggling mess, and any negative thinking that we might have had prior to this particular slide starting, I definitely am smiling, and my mindset has completely changed. Don't you agree, Marcy?
Oh, I definitely agree. It's a lot of fun.
So try it out. How do you feel after playing some of those mental games? It was kind of fun, right? Remember that mental games is not for everyone, and each situation can be different. Sometimes we just need to change our mindset and try something new.
As Candace just mentioned, mental games are not for everyone. Military OneSource offers resources and tools to help you as service members and your families remain resilient through the military life cycle. Some of those resiliency tools are featured right here on the slide. First, we have Mood Hacker, which is a self-management tool where you just go ahead and enter your activities and your mood levels throughout each day. And then Mood Hacker actually tracks and compares the activities to help you understand which activities boost your mood and which ones drag you down. You can use this tool as long as you like, and it's really nice because it provides charts to show your top mood boosting and mood lowering activities, as well as reminds you of new activities to try to lift your mood, and offers access to a library of activities proven to increase your happiness. The other resiliency tool we have is called the Coach Hub. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the Military OneSource Health and Wellness Coaching Program, the Coach Hub app actually is an independent online module that can help you with your own coaching experience and to help you manage stress. Now, through this app, you can communicate through the interactive website when you have time, and the coach will help respond when they are online. Some of the topics that you can address here is physical fitness testing, nutrition, weight loss, stress reduction. And the nice thing is you get to select your coach through a listing that matches coaches with the goal you're trying to achieve. And coaches will help you stay on track to meet your goals by making appointments, posting answers to your questions, as well as viewing your progress and holding you accountable. It's a really cool feature that's available to you. Now we have the Love Every Day, which is very cool, so that you can go ahead and send text to you and your partner. And the actual app will send you and your partner a question each morning for 21 days. Now you both get to respond when it's convenient for you, and then the app will notify you when your partner's answer is ready to view. Love Every Day helps you get to know your partner better, learn new ways to show your love for each other, and discover did you know facts about relationships. This is a really great way to create a new normal for your relationship, especially as you start reintegrating. And last but not least, we have Chill Drills, which is available as audio files on the Military OneSource website. You click find it on the products section of the website in the footers. And from here, you can either have Military OneSource mail you for free the playaway module of Chill Drills, or you can upload each of the audios to your smartphone. The different drills that are available to you really focus on like becoming focused, calm, relaxed, and alert. Maybe people that have problems falling asleep would enjoy one of the audio versions to help with sleep, release stress, as well as easing back pain. All you have to do is just plug in, relax, and breathe through any situation that may be weighing on your mind. And remember, it's all about how you put it into perspective. This concludes our briefing. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Oh, and Marcy, make sure everybody knows that there's going to be a Q&A section specific for this yellow ribbon. So you should all check that out.
Or you can call the 24/7 Military and Family Support Center at 888-607-8773. Until next time.
Thanks, everybody.